You can't be a selfish prick and survive. Can I say it any more clearly than that? That's not my job, is a sense that, in my opinion, you should be shown the door. The team that wins together or loses together, where there's no individual scoreboard, that is a winning team, because you know what? Everybody's lifting up everyone, and everyone sails to heights that they've never sailed to before. When you have capacity and someone needs help, you help. That's it. Selfish people think they're protecting themselves. What they're actually doing is destroying trust and killing the culture around them. If you're only here for yourself, you are in the wrong place. It's pretty powerful if you think about it. Most companies have a handbook full of values nobody reads and understands, standards that nobody enforces. That's not what this is. Today, I'm telling you exactly what it takes to be here and what happens if you can't meet the needs, if you can't meet the standards. Why does this conversation need to happen? Most businesses run on hope. They hope people show up with integrity, hope they work hard, hope they treat customers right. And that's not a culture. That's a prayer. You're hoping that things go right, but the truth is that you're not taking control of your own future. We're not here to hope. We're here to define. The reason performance breakdown isn't usually skill, it's character. Someone's not being honest. Someone's being selfish. Someone's dragging the room down with their attitude. So before we talk about metrics, goals, or growth, we establish who you have to be. Last episode was about what high performance looks like. This episode is about the foundation underneath it. You can't build performance on top of broken character. These aren't suggestions. These aren't areas of focus. These are requirements. They're non-negotiables. You either meet them or you don't belong here. It's pretty straightforward. So what are the 6 non-negotiables? Number 1, honesty. The whole thing is built on this. No lying, no hiding, no spinning, period. You know, there's one thing, though, that I find that people like to do that I hate. It leaves me feeling crazy. Like, did I actually get the full picture here? And the thing that I hate worse than any other is this type of lying. It's the half-truth. You know, it's like you can tell when somebody's just a flat-out liar and they're just hardcore lying, right? You sniff that out quickly. But the bullshit half-truth thing is a killer. It leaves you feeling bonkers. But the reality is a half-truth is still a lie. Someone telling just enough to not technically be wrong while leaving out the part that changes everything. That's a manipulation tactic, and you got to see through it. And if you're a great leader, you do see through it. But sometimes it takes time because some people are really good at that crap. If you're carefully crafting what you say to avoid telling the whole story, that's dishonesty. It doesn't get a pass just because you didn't technically say something false. You got to own your mistakes immediately. The cover-up is always worse than the crime. That's all there is to it. I can't tell you how many times I've had to tell the whole truth when I made a mistake. I make mistakes regularly. I run a good-sized company. You know, we're doing 50 million plus last year. We're trending to do 60 million plus this year. Great growth, good things. But guess what? I make mistakes and I got to own them. If I don't have the character of honesty, then who's going to trust me? Who's going to want to be led by me if I'm just full of shit and I'm making stuff up to cover my ass? It doesn't work that way. Own your mistakes. And when someone is honest, even when it costs them something, that should build trust, and your reaction will build trust because you're going to have an opportunity to show that you value honesty and you're ready to accept failure as long as people are willing to transition and to create a new plan and to move forward. That's okay. Trust is the only currency that actually scales a business. And when someone lies, hides, tells half the story, it poisons everything. You can't manage what you can't see. If you're a leader, just side note here, you have to learn to make sure that you allow people and give them permission to fail and to be honest with you without having deep repercussions. As long as they're not doing the same things over and over again, you shouldn't give repercussions for failures. You should just give corrective action and a new direction and make sure that people understand that, hey, this won't be acceptable a second time. It's okay for mistakes to be made a first time. Sometimes even for a second time if it's something that's complicated. But by the third time, they're just choosing to make mistakes. And that's where you have to draw the line. Here's what it comes down to. If I can't trust what comes out of your mouth, the full truth, not the convenient version, nothing else matters. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how great you are at collecting people's bills. I don't care how great you are at dealing with customers on installs. I don't know how great you are at making sales. If you're lying and that's your character, I don't want you. And any company owner shouldn't want you. Because the reality is your team will be better off even if you fire the highest performer if they're a liar. So, number 2, what's principle number 2 here? Do the right thing. Well, how do you choose what's the right thing? There's always a right thing for the customer and for the company. Short-term thinking kills long-term businesses. That's all there is to it. Don't cut corners to save time or money. It compromises the customer. Protecting the customer experience is protecting the company. They're the same thing. Long-term, they're identical. When you serve your customers right, you create a reputation. You create consistency, and consistency is what drives businesses. Surging businesses, they come and go. They're in and out. They're a fad, and they're not going to be around. The consistency of having a great customer experience is a huge difference. If you're in a situation where the easy thing and the right thing are different, do the right thing every time. I've had to do this so many times. There's been jobs that we misquoted, or we had a crew that did a terrible job on an install. And you know what? We just go back and fix the problem. There's been roofs that we had to completely replace at Bartlett Roofing. And hey, I tell you, I don't want to do that, but it's the right thing. Even in a bad situation, if you do the right thing, in the long run, that is your reputation. That is your company. That is what defines you. And it also helps you define whether or not you can scale. If you can't have a team of people that trust you, then how do you expect 200 people to be led by you? If they can't trust who you are, if they can't trust you to be honest, if they can't trust that you're trying to make decisions that are good for your customers, your team, your company, and yourself, and that you're trying to keep everybody's interests at heart, then you don't belong in leadership. Your integrity isn't about what you do when the boss is in the room. It's about what you do when no one is watching. So number 3, care about people. It's funny because the most successful people that I deal with day in and day out, whether they're in sales, they're in production, whether they're internal in our HR team, the most successful people are the ones that show they care about everybody else. Sales guys caring about a customer builds trust in a way that no other sales pitch can. If your desire is to get the sale, and that desire is greater than your desire to help your customer, customers will smell that out in a second, and they will dismiss you as untrustworthy. Put the needs of the customer above your own needs, and you will win. This isn't soft. Don't confuse it for soft. Your teammates are not obstacles. They're not competition. They're the people you're building this with. Care about the people. Customers are not transactions. They're the reason we exist. If you're the type of person who walks past a struggling teammate, That is a problem. We help each other always, without exception, even when it's inconvenient. Leadership, specifically your job, is to make people around you better. If you're not doing that, you're not leading. If you don't genuinely care about people, customers, teammates, anyone and everyone, you're going to fail. And honestly, you should. Because who wants that kind of person around anyway, who only cares about themselves? Which leads to the next point. No selfishness. Team first. Full stop. You can't be a selfish prick and survive. Can I say it any more clearly than that? That's not my job, is a sense that, in my opinion, you should be shown the door. The team that wins together or loses together, where there's no individual scoreboard, that is a winning team, because you know what? Everybody's lifting up everyone, and everyone sails to heights that they've never sailed to before. When you have capacity and someone needs help, you help. That's it. Selfish people think they're protecting themselves. What they're actually doing is destroying trust and killing the culture around them. If you're only here for yourself, you are in the wrong place. We're building something together, and there's no room for freelancers. It's pretty powerful if you think about it. If you've got a team full of freelancers, you've built the wrong culture. Number 5, self-motivation. We don't babysit adults. I refuse to manage your effort. That's not my job, and it's not your manager's job. You either bring it every day because you want to win, or you don't. We can tell the difference fast. Don't wait to be told what to do. Don't wait to be recognized before you try harder. You don't need a pep talk. Show up every Monday and get to work. Why are you even thinking about doing anything differently? If you're like, I can't manage my emotions well enough to show up and be strong and to do what I need to do to be successful, then you don't deserve success. Let me say that again. If you don't show up with the ability to self-motivate, with the ability to be a leader, to be impactful to the people around you, even if you're not in a leadership position, guess what? You're still leading by your example. If you're not willing to show up as a leader in the space that you work, don't show up. You don't belong here. This isn't the place for you. Top performers don't need to be pushed. They are the ones doing the pushing. We will coach you on skills all day long. We will not coach you on wanting to be here. If this is hitting home for you, I'm talking to you. Make a different choice. Show up. Be self-motivated. You understand what I'm saying. Rule number 6, no negativity. Problems are welcome and poison is not. Negativity is poison. You should have hard rules around how negativity gets handled, and it matters. If you've got something negative, a frustration, a problem, something that's bothering you, there's one place that it goes, to your direct boss, not to your coworkers, not to the people that work for you, not in the break room, not in the hallway, not in a group text. You talk about it to your boss. If the problem's about your boss or your boss isn't doing anything about it, then take it up the chain. Figure out who the next person you need to talk to is and be bold. I hate it when we lose team members that left because they didn't like their boss. Their boss wasn't getting things done. Their boss wasn't taking action on things that needed to be taken action on. I hate it because we go to a lot of effort to find good people. So be bold. Step outside your comfort zone. Be okay with the possible repercussions, because otherwise, hey, you're going to be gone anyway. So what do you have to lose? Nothing. Take it up the chain. But still, never take it sideways to your peers. Never speak negative down. And here's the thing. When you bring negativity, you have something that's negative or something that needs fixed or a problem, bring a solution. It goes to your direct boss, but bring it with at least an idea of how to fix it. People who just complain and never bring solutions, they're just negative Nancy's, man. You don't want that person around. You'd rather let them go anyway, because maybe you're already doing everything you can to fix the issues. And you need more than one brain in the room. I don't run this company by myself. I have a team of people that runs this company, a large group of leaders that run this company. And these are the rules that we live by, and they're the rules I suggest every company lives by. Bring the idea. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't even have to be good, but at least put in the effort to come up with some kind of an idea. Because otherwise, what are you doing? You're just complaining. Spend 2 minutes thinking about how to fix it. Not just that you want to complain about it because you need to vent. Get over yourself. That one standard alone tells me a lot about who a person is. They're not somebody who wants to grow. They're somebody who wants to be a victim. Because here's the truth. Complainers they never solve everything. They never solve anything, honestly. They're just poison. They drain energy. They spread negativity, and they make everyone around them worse. Don't put up with it. There's a massive difference between flagging a real problem and being a drag on everyone around you. One is being a good teammate. The other is being a liability. Bring me problems. I want to hear them. I tell everybody that I talk to that works for me, my office, I have an open door policy. You can bring it in there and discuss anything you need to discuss. I want to hear the problems. But if you can, bring them to the right person first. And no matter if you're bringing it to me or one of the leaders in our company, bring an idea and leave the poison at the door. That's it. It's that simple. If you're just coming to complain, I don't want to talk to you. If you can show up to complain with a proposed solution, let's go. Let's make it happen. So what happens when you don't meet these standards? These aren't improvement areas for you to review. These are baseline requirements. If you're falling short, we will have a conversation. Direct, honest, clear. That's the hallway conversation. If it continues, it becomes a formal coaching conversation. We're still having conversations. We're making sure we understand each other in a sit-down, serious meeting about it. If it keeps going after that, in our case, the next step is performance improvement plan, or this isn't the place for you, one or the other. And we'll make that official. We'll pat you on your back and promote you to a next opportunity with another company. We're not a rehab center. We're not a babysitter. We're a company that expects high performance out of everybody here. We'll help you grow, but we won't carry you. We will coach you. We will give you a chance to course correct, but we will not tolerate someone who refuses to meet our standards. This team deserves better than that. And as a leader, you need to be unafraid to deal with those issues when they come up. So why is this actually great news? If you're sitting there thinking, this sounds intense, that's good. That means you're paying attention. But here's the other side. Clarity removes stress. You know exactly what's expected. No guessing, no politics, no wondering where you stand. High standards create opportunity. When the whole team is held to this, you and your entire team will rise with it. The right people don't feel burdened by high standards. They're energized by them. The right people hear this and they feel relief, because finally, here's a place that takes it as seriously as I do. And who's this for? If you want to coast, this isn't for you. If you want to avoid accountability, this is not for you. If you want to drag people down because you enjoy the feeling of victimhood, this isn't for you. If you're not willing to grow and self-improve and be intentional about your growth through reading, through podcasts, through, seminars and programs that you do and follow, this isn't for you. And that's genuinely okay. Not every environment is for every person. This one just isn't for you. And that's fine. So slow down here for a minute. Pay attention. Let each one of these things land. Number one, honesty. The full truth, not the convenient version. No half-truth. Half-truths are lies. Number two, do the right thing for the customer, for the company, even when no one's watching. Number three, care about people, your teammates, your customers, everyone, the company. This isn't soft, it's required. Number four, no selfishness. Put the team first, no exceptions. Somebody saying that's not my job, it just doesn't belong here. It shouldn't exist here. Number five, self-motivation. Bring your effort. Nobody is managing your desire to show up. Number six, no negativity. Take problems to the right person and bring a solution and leave the poison at the door. This is what separates high-performing companies from average ones. This is what it takes to build something real. The people who live these out will succeed. The people who don't, they won't make it, and they shouldn't. Raise the bar and set the line in the sand. This is the standard. It doesn't change. It's not up for debate. Live it out, and you'll build something worth being proud of. Thanks for being here. I hope this helps.